r/AskReddit. What are your favorite money saving tips? Subscribe, or why dog will steal all of your money. Look at your bank statement. Actually look at where your money goes. On every payday, I move half of what I had left over from last pay period over into my savings account. Paying yourself. Sometimes it's not a lot, but it has added up quickly. I also add $5 to each of my kids' savings accounts every payday. They each have over $1,000 and my personal savings has just reached 5 figures. As a single mom, who has always lived paycheck to paycheck, I have surprised myself. Make as much food as you can. Buying lunch every day at work adds up. Whenever you feel the urge to buy a non-necessity, give yourself a couple of days before you buy it. Oftentimes, the impulse will have passed and you'll be glad to still have the money. Or if it's on sale limited stock, you won't even have the option of purchasing it after, since it won't be worth it or sold out. I do this a lot. I once bought a 500 pack of tea bags. That was 3 years ago. I ran out this week. If you are a student, learn to cook. If you are working, bring lunch to work every day. You'll save a lot of money. When you go shopping, especially grocery shopping, make a list and stick to it. And never grocery shop on an empty stomach. Or after a busy day or week, you'll be more inclined to buy bad food and make poorer purchasing decisions. People waste a ton of money ordering food and prepared stuff. Just look up some tutorials and save some real money. And make that grocery list looking at the weekly sales flyer. Plan your menu for the week based on what is on sale. I pay with credit card for everything I buy. I get points from my credit card. I pay off my credit card in full each month and there are no fees for the card. Essentially, MasterCard pays me several $100s a year for using their card. If you are actually good with money and credit. I have a friend who does this to extreme levels. Literally everything he can is paid with a credit card. My local grocery store has a loyalty points thing where you get 1 point for every dollar you spend. You can use these points later to get discounts on gas at their pumps and other things. Every 100 points is worth 10 cents per gallon off in gas, with a max of 1,000 points, $1 off per gallon. If he needs to buy something at Home Depot, he'll go to the grocery store first, buy a HD gift card for the amount he needs, get the points from the grocery store, pay with a credit card to get those points, then go to HD and buy what he needs. Same way if he needs something from Amazon or anywhere else. Pay your credit card off completely every month. Don't let it accumulate interest. Don't purchase things you don't have the cash for. Too many people get over their heads in credit card debt and it's hard to dig yourself out at 18% interest. To add to this, if you have a credit card debt that you're struggling to pay off, think about doing a balance transfer to a long 0% interest card. I've seen some for 40 months, makes it a lot easier to pay off a bulk with no interest. Get water with your meal when you eat out. $1 to $4 savings immediately. Secret tip, never order soda at a buffet. The bubbles will replace delicious ribs and ice cream. Every time you buy a Big Mac, take out one ingredient and set it to one side. Then at the end of the week, you get a free Big Mac. That day when you have to eat a Big Mac without the hamburger patty is going to be pretty disappointing. As an ex-McDonald's employee, I have a much better suggestion. A Big Mac typically runs $4 to $5, varying by restaurant. You can basically get a Big Mac for $2-ish, if you order a Mac Double with no ketchup or mustard, and add Mac sauce. The only difference is the lack of middle bun and sesame seeds on the bun. And you can buy 2 for the price of 1. Writing down everything you spend your money on. I did this. Turns out I was spending quite a bit on pens and notepads. I keep a spreadsheet where I track every single expense, from a Red Bull at the gas station, to rent and everything in between. I use this to create my budget. I find this is effective, because it shows me exactly how much I need to spend on needs like rent, utilities, groceries, gas, insurance, debt, etc., as well as how much I can spend on luxuries, or just things I don't need to get by. It can be a bit tedious at times to record my expenses, both in my spreadsheet as well as on my budget app, every dollar, but it keeps me paying attention. I also purposely haven't purchased the premium version of Every Dollar, which allows you to connect your bank accounts and whatnot, and have things automatically tracked, because then I wouldn't pay as close attention to things. Rice. That son of a bitch goes with everything. Even rice. Rice, 4 out of 10. Rice with rice, 8 out of 10. Rice with rice, 12 out of 10. Quick recipe for hungry days: sauté a small bit of onion and a garlic clove for a minute. Add a cup of raw white rice and keep it on the stove while you blend 2 cups of water, a tomato and a half, and optionally some tomato puree to give it color. Add salt, pepper, maybe a pinch of sugar, whatever spices you can get a hold of, and pour it all on the rice as soon as it starts moving by itself on the pan. Let it cook and you've got Mexican red rice. Serve with to almost any food, or put a fried egg on top of it, or just eat it like it is. It's a delicious meal for almost no money and it can make days of poverty suck less. I was quite bad for really wanting things and buying them as soon as I got paid. Of course, as the end of the month came near, I had barely any money left, and struggled. To fix this, instead of buying things at the start of the month, I decided to buy things at the end of the month, if I still had enough of that month's wages left over to do so. If I didn't, then I did the same again, and wait till the end of the next month, and of course, last month's leftovers plus the new month's wage by the end of the second month, I had enough, and sometimes saved money as the item was now cheaper. Basically, patience and timing means I can still have the things I want, and not be struggling near the end of the month. I'm in a much better place financially now. Stop spending $150 on dinner drinks. I wish I would have listened to myself last night. Dining out was my biggest money waster too. This time last year, I was going to restaurants at least 3 or 4 nights a week. I've always loved going to restaurants, but it got to where I was dining out so often, it was no longer special and I got bored with all my favorite places. Now that I'm only dining out once a week at most, it's become something special again. Potatoes. Keep plenty of them in stock. They can sit for a long time in the pantry or fridge. They're versatile, easy to cook, and filling. I accidentally overbought today and carried home 3 fucking sacks of the damn things. Guess I'm gonna be good in the dinner department for a while. I'm sorry, but how do you overbuy 3 fucking sacks? I dunno, like, I'm making a potato bake tonight, which is cooking right now. I didn't know how many I'd need, and then I began thinking about the other potato-related dishes I want to do in the next 2 weeks, and was like, fuck it, 3 sacks, let's roll. This was already touched upon, but meal prep. Pick a day, generally Sunday, and spend a couple hours cooking and storing everything for the next week. This also helps if you're trying to lose weight. I lost 30 pounds being cheap and planning ahead. Try to eat things from home, rather than grab something quick from the deli across the street from your work, because, although it may seem cheap, it adds up really quickly. Don't spend money. But really don't waste money on sales for things you don't need. Do meal prepping, make a budget for yourself, carry cash as it's harder to spend money when you can actually see it. Sign up for email newsletters and use coupons whenever possible, and cut out anything unnecessary or that doesn't serve a really positive purpose in your life. I always thought that carrying cash made me more likely to spend money, but it turns out you're right. Oh, I had $100 but now I have $60, ugh, that's a lot of wasted money. Buy greeting cards at the dollar store. I get greeting cards for 99 cents that are as good, or better, than ones selling for more than $4.99 elsewhere. Also, for women who are trying to get pregnant, and take a lot of pregnancy tests, buy them at all dollar store. They are just as accurate as the $15 tests. When I give a gift to a kid, I get a dollar store coloring book and write an inscription in the cover. It serves as a card, they can actually use it, and it was cheaper than a card. This will get lost, but hopefully it will help the one person who reads to the bottom. Carry with you the knowledge that your parents and grandparents didn't magically start out with a house full of bathrooms, stainless appliances, multiple TVs and other electronics. Granted, it's okay to not have everything, to accumulate your stuff over time. Don't get suckered in by the lifestyle TV shows, or articles online, or from your peer group. It's okay and financially responsible to defer gratification, it will come. A trick that always works for me is to think about how many hours' wages I am spending on something. As someone who previously had a huge spending problem, this has helped me realize that I've worked hard for my money, and I'd rather be working my ass off for a stress-free life financially than living payday to payday buying meaningless shit. Counterintuitive, but buy the best you can afford, and take good care of your stuff. Since you know you have the best you can afford, you don't have the constant itch to replace and upgrade. For example, buy quality clothes, get them tailored so that they fit, no stretching to wear them out, and then clean them correctly. Rather than constantly buying replacing cheap stuff, keep good stuff long term. Same thing with cars, appliances, etc. Good quality has higher upfront costs but can have long-term savings. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below for more daily content.